You're trying to do the responsible thing, high protein. After all, everyone has said that this is what you need to eat in order to stop cravings, bring satisfaction, and stop the noise in your mind. So you find yourself going into the break room. You rip open that protein bar. You're super excited because you're making the right choice. You down it pretty quickly, but you know it's going to help you. But then, about an hour or so later, you find yourself rummaging through the break room again, fighting the noise in your brain, the chatter saying, "Oh, but I'm still hungry, I still want something. Why doesn't this work for me?" Well, if that's you, I want you to know, friends, that you're not crazy. And actually, there is a reason that this high protein food is not bringing the satisfaction and stopping the noise like you want it to. And when I saw this for myself personally, I was shocked. It was a game changer. And I was able to step out of the frustration and the noise, turn it off, and finally walk in peace with food again. So today, I want to talk with you about the protein mirage, because this is what is going to help you, just like it helped me, understand how to walk in the freedom that is available for me. Hi, friends. My name is Renee Rasheva, and this is the Freedom Table podcast, where we talk about all things freedom for our body, for our health, through a biblical lens. Now, I just want you to know from the beginning that this video is not about shame and blame, and it's not about putting this weight of guilt upon you at all. It's actually a video to shed light on what's going on in your body and to give you direction and to help you walk in peace, because the Lord has set before you freedom. And sometimes it's so hard to see it because we're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to get it all together, and it's easy to feel exhausted because of all of the chatter that's going on in our mind. Now, this topic is getting a lot of heat lately, and we're all talking about food noise. After all, Oprah, she just published a new book, and she talks all about the food noise, and she doesn't want people to feel guilty or shame because of what's going on in their minds. Now, it's so often, let me know in the comments if you experience this fight the same way. You feel like you have to put a lock and key on your refrigerator, and even if you did that, you probably would find where you shoved it down in the garbage can and go get the lock and open it and eat all the food that you want, because it feels like it's so consuming and so overwhelming. And that's why this topic about protein can feel overwhelming as well, because we're told that macronutrients matter, and we're told that protein is what satisfies and is what is going to break you out of this hamster wheel. You want to get over it, right? Like, you want to stop thinking about the amount of calories that you're eating and trying to balance and, turn off the desires and the things. Oh, just for one more thing. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced it. You've eaten a lot already and you're like, I just need just one more thing, right? And that's exactly what we're going to be targeting today, because if you can realize this and what's going on and what your body actually needs, then you can find the victory that you're after. You see, there's a couple of things that your body actually needs and it's actually looking for when it comes to protein. There's a reason why, if the box says it has 20 to 40 grams of protein in it, that if you don't feel that way and physiologically your body feels different, there's a reason why there is a difference. And you see, one of the reasons is speed. Speed is based on the amount of time that it takes to consume the food. Now, think about it with me. When you have a protein shake or you have one of those protein bars or other high protein items, I think I just saw that they were putting protein in pretzels. Like, okay, they want to sell their pretzel products, right? So they are trying to get us to buy pretzels. And it's so easy. The gimmick is it's so easy to fall for because we like pretzels. And it's a protein pretzel, so I can go get it, right? Well, the problem is that they're putting this protein in this pretzel, but think about how quick is it to consume a serving size? And how fast will your body be able to eat it? And the reality is that our brain there's actually a part of the chewing and the engaging in the food process that God made that's super important. And once you've chewed and you've eaten food and you've broke it down long enough, then your body will signal full. But if you're not getting that in your food and it's not actually structured in your food to be able to do that, then you're going to keep eating and eating and eating and eating. Now, I don't know about you, but let me know in the comments. When you've eaten something processed, hasn't it found like you just want to chew more, right? Like if you've eaten something that doesn't have a lot of texture, doesn't have feels like basically like cotton candy in your mouth that dissolves, like those powder puffs or whatever they are, it's so easy to eat a whole bag of those compared to a protein steak, a high protein steak with lots of nutrients, a lot of great things in it for your body. They're so different. Now, there's a reason that those are different, and it's the other thing that is what our body needs to cue full. And that is called the food matrix. Now, this kind of sounds a little, I don't know if it reminds you back into the Matrix days when that movie was big. But the idea is that the food is made of different compounds that actually is what your body needs to be satisfied. So when you eat a high protein steak, it's going to be filled with the protein, but it's also filled with fiber and water. And the act of chewing that, right? The act of eating a nice juicy steak, think about how long it takes to eat that versus your protein from your bar. You can sit and eat that steak for a little while, and by the end, you feel pretty satisfied because the food has been made up of all of these building blocks. I want you to picture like a Lego set, right? So if you see a Lego set that is all built together, it's pretty hard to break it apart. And so it takes time if you want to disassemble it, if you want to like crush it and get it broken up together. That's how that food works. That's how God's food works. God's food is so arranged and designed to actually make you feel full. And when you eat it, it's just amazing. It's filled with so many amazing things. But when you eat the other food, like the protein bars and the snacks that are made by these ultra food processed food companies, what ends up happening is it's like little pieces of Legos all over, or think of it as pre-digested food. It's food that is already gone through the process, and it is so easy to consume. It's right in and it's right out. And that, my friends, is one of the big reasons that you're not cueing full and you're physiologically not signaling that you're full. It's actually what is signaling safety to your body. You see, instead, those other bars, the companies take out all of the different nutrients, they divide them, they isolate them out, and then they inject them into whatever food that they want. And that, my friends, is not communicating to your body safety. It's not communicating to your body what it needs. It actually is communicating, hey, I need more. I don't have enough and I don't feel full. You see, protein needs a partner in order for it to be safe. So whenever you eat protein, you should always consider having a partner with it. Think of it like Batman and Robin. You know, Batman's the star, but you need Robin along to help solve all of the cases. And that's exactly what's happening here with protein. Protein is the star, but you need fiber to go along with it. And when you partner them together, it becomes a dual match, and it becomes a dynamic duo that enables you to be filled fuller longer. So when you eat the protein bars, it often strips it of its nutrients, and it doesn't have a lot of fiber on it. And that is what's going to make you come back for more. You see, all of these advertisements and all of these things that the companies are trying to do, it's coming from a place right now because everybody is talking about GLP-1. We all want to be satisfied when we eat. We're so tired of the low-fat diets and eating all of the different, counting our calories and eating it in a way that we don't feel full. In order to feel like we can lose weight and we can, be successful, we now want to do it, but do it feeling satisfied. Because if we're not satisfied, then we're continuing to let this noise go in our minds and we end up feeling ashamed, right? We would love to take a quick break to tell you about this opportunity. In 2018, the Lord helped me lose weight in what felt like a supernatural way. It felt like it was just melting off of me, and I ended up losing 40 pounds. And so I've put together a free ebook that I believe the Lord wants to give to you. It's got 5 truths to your effortless weight loss. And in that book, I share the one biblical truth that the Lord showed me that helped me really step out of striving and step into an ease of His grace, to walk in in freedom for my weight loss. And I believe he has the same for you. We also have it in an audiobook version. So I encourage you to click the link below in the comments or go to www.feastingin eden.com to pick up your free ebook today. I don't know about you, but I always felt ashamed when I couldn't keep within my calorie range and I couldn't limit the foods that I needed to. And I was trying to eat low fat and low calorie. But now the world is waking up and we want to feel full. And so that's why GLP-1 drugs are really, really tempting. And maybe you're even on one if you're in this video. But the reality is now that the companies are starting to market to us to say, hey, okay, we know that protein is important. Guys, protein's important. So let's get that message out to everybody. And now they're telling us that their foods are going to help you be satisfied. And but friends, we're here on the Freedom Table podcast, and we're here to bring discernment to you because that's what this is about. Discerning what is wisdom for our bodies, discerning what is putting the right foods into our bodies for what we need. Are we going to believe what's on the outside of the package that tells you, hey, this is GLP-1 friendly, you're going to be satisfied when you eat me? Or are you going to flip that package around and say, is this the food that God gave us to feel satisfied? Is this the food that God gave us to fill our bodies and to fuel our bodies? And so, friends, I want to help shift our mindset here on the podcast, because if you can change your mindset and see, wait a second, it's not about what it says on the package, but it's actually about the fruit that it's going to produce. And instead of saying, oh, I just can't eat, it's not about what I can't eat and what I can eat, but it's actually about how is this food going to make me feel after I eat it? Is it just a protein mirage? Is it telling me that it's going to satisfy me and you're going to feel full? Or is it telling me what is going to bring lasting results and make me feel good in my body? You see, you want something that is you want food that is filled with this matrix, this building blocks that God put in it. And you want food that's going to be nourishing and help you stay full longer. And now there are plenty of foods out there that can do this. And that's what's most amazing, is that there are foods that mimic the whole GLP-1 drugs. Actually, I'd like to say that the GLP-1 drugs mimic the food that God made, and they mimic what God has already designed, right? The enemy, he only ever twists things. He never can create something new. He can't create a weight loss drug. He can't create this, whole GLP-1 thing. Now, again, there's no shame if you're on them. But I just want to bring you hope today that you're not stuck, and that actually there are just simple, basic things that you can really simply do to change your life today that can change this whole span. And you can start to feel satisfied in what you eat, and you can start to feel the fullness that God created without the drugs. Now, I know it can be challenging, and the idea of stepping into this can feel scary at first, but I just want to make this simple for you today, because there's 3 different things that you can do when you go to the grocery store. Today, it's a 10-second thing. You don't have to, make a long decision. You don't have to do something super long. I just want you to do 3 tests with me when you go to the store. The first thing, when you go to grab that protein bar or grab that protein product, I want you to think about how long it's going to take you to consume it. You see, it's only going to take you about 10 seconds to think about how long will it take you to consume that food. Will you eat that serving size really quickly and it's going to be gone? And is your body going to feel full afterwards? That, my friends, is one test that's super helpful and super quick. Because if you can just see, oh, wait a second, this is telling me it's going to fill me, but actually wisdom tells me that it's not going to give me what my body needs. I'm going to be hungry in probably 5 minutes after, or I'm going to want to overconsume it. And research is in. If processed food, when we eat that kind of a diet, people generally overeat it by 500 calories just naturally. Not because they're trying to overeat, not because they don't want to take care of themselves, but literally because they just want more. They're not satisfied. And that's because the food is claiming, hey, this is going to make it easy to stop. It's going to make it easy to get and give you all you need. but actually it's not we're actually trying to make it so that you don't stop because we want you to buy us. We want you to pay us more money. And that, my friends, is part of it. So take that 10 seconds and start to think, like, how long is this going to take me to eat? Then I want you to look over on the back and see, are these lab experiments? Because if it looks like a lab experiment, it says all these gums, all these isolates, and I like to say this goobly globbly names, then I want you to consider, is this actually what's going to be the protein that satisfies me longer? Because when you can eat the steak and the grass-fed beef and you can eat the hard-boiled egg, I promise you're going to feel fuller longer. And then I also want to encourage you to look on the back and see if it has its partner, right? You always want to include fiber with your protein. That is what's going to help bring you satisfaction. So make sure that there is a high count of fiber also along with the high count of protein. Now, if you can chew those really quickly and it doesn't have fiber with it and it doesn't meet all of these tests, I just want you to encourage you today that your freedom is on the other side of wisdom. Because when you look wisely at these foods and say, is this really going to give me everything I need? It's going to help you make the decisions for something else. I've had this so many times. Even there was a time I wanted to go get like a breakfast sandwich that was filled with like just a quick convenient store breakfast sandwich. And I looked on the back of the package, and while it had a lot of different things, I saw that it had a ton of different ingredients. And I'm like, am I gonna feel good in the end? Is this gonna take me like no time to eat it? And how many calories is it actually gonna put in my body? But I'm still not gonna feel full at the end. And so when I made that test, I actually stopped myself and I went home and I made eggs and some beef instead. And I was much more satisfied. Now, here's where it gets good, because God has made food to bring satisfaction, right? So I'm going to encourage you to think about foods that are going to bring that chew factor, the texture, and bring all of these elements in. Bring the dynamic duo in, right? Bring your protein and your fat and your fiber, and bring some color. So this is what I like to call the peace plate. So if you've stuck around this long, I feel like you're going to get a huge payoff, because the peace plate is what I even encourage you tomorrow. Start tomorrow with your peace plate. This plate is going to be a plate that brings freedom and brings peace. So think of it like that. And now on this peace plate, you're going to want to add all of the different elements that we've talked about, right? We want our dynamic duo. So we want our protein and our fiber. The protein is going to be your meat and your grass-fed organic meat that's good for you, solid protein. And then you can add your fiber, whether that's beans, lentils, legumes, or some kind of other fiber. Now you get that through your whole plate, but you're going to want to also include some color. And those are going to be your veggies and your fruits, whatever it is, you're going to want to make sure your plate is filled with all of those. And then add and make sure you have a little bit of fat. The healthy fats actually are what's going to keep it in your stomach longer. It's going to bring absorption to your vegetables. And so when you eat that healthy fat alongside of all of those other foods, you're going to actually be filled longer because it's staying in your stomach longer. There's more volume in your food. And that is what's going to bring so much peace to all of this noise. It's going to stop the chatter. So say, for instance, you do a plate of spaghetti and you just have your sauce and your carbs. That, my friends, is going to make you hungry probably in about an hour or two. Instead, I would swap it and do instead I would swap it, maybe do like a chicken parmesan or some beef red sauce with a spaghetti squash, and then include some kind of salad on the side, making sure that you get some avocado or some olive oil. And all of that together, you're going to feel really great in the end. And I promise you, it's going to feel so much better than before. Now, and for your mornings, try doing an egg and some beef. One of my favorite dishes actually is to fry up some grass-fed beef, not that much, but probably a portion about like that. And then I like to include some zucchini. I saute that up and I put that in the pan with some eggs, some scrambled eggs, and a little bit of grass-fed cheese. And it's absolutely delicious. And it's one of the most satisfying breakfasts that I eat. And it makes me feel full well into the afternoon. So I highly recommend finding ways that you can put this peace plate together. Start your day off in peace. Eat your snacks in peace. Maybe you go and you take a couple hard-boiled eggs to work with a carrot and some hummus. That right there is going to make you feel so much satisfied longer. And I promise you, you're not going to need any other GLP-1 and promoting things because your body has what it needs. So friends, I hope that this is freeing. I hope that you have an unlock today. And I hope you see maybe why you felt like you were going crazy, but why there's so much peace with the Lord. Now, the Lord really helped me step out of striving and helped me break free from these foods in what felt like a supernatural way. I lost 40 pounds, not even expecting it. So if you're curious about my testimony, I encourage you to watch this video here. But we also have some other videos that I encourage you to explore because we talk about the spiritual side of things and why it feels so hard to give these foods up and how there is actually victory and peace on the other side of it. And the Lord has brought us freedom. So I encourage you, if you got any encouragement out of this video, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next podcast episode.